Hey, welcome back to Cool Classics. So I was just watching some McHale's Navy and I thought, wow, Tim Conway looks really young here. I wonder when he started. So I looked up his information and here's what I found out. He was born Thomas Daniel Conway, December 15th, 1933 in Willoughby, Ohio. His father was born in Ireland to Scottish parents and his mother was first-generation Romanian American. So his name was Thomas, and she called him Toma at home, and all the kids at school called him Tom. It wasn't until later when he started to get his acting career going, he had to change his name because there was another famous actor named Tom Conway. So he became Tim. Now when he was in school, he was known as the class clown, which really shouldn't come as a big surprise. Knowing that he wanted to work in the entertainment industry, he attended Bowling Green State University and he majored in television and radio. He was also a disc jockey on their local radio station for a while. After graduation, he enlisted in the United States Army where he served between 1956 and 1958. Now, after his discharge from the Army, he returned to Cleveland and worked with Ernie Anderson on KYW-TV, an NBC affiliate. Tim and Ernie worked really good together and struck up a great friendship. So a couple years later, when WJW hired Ernie to come on and do his own show called Ernie's Place, of course, he brought Tim along. Tim became Ernie's co-host on the show and things were going along really good. The two of them even put out a comedy duo album. During this time, Tim took on a lot more responsibilities around the station. He was writing jokes and complete skits for other shows that were airing, along with helping direct some episodes when they needed him. This was all fine and dandy until new management took over the station. They went to Tim and said, "We believe that you misled the previous management into thinking that you had experience as a director, so we're going to dismiss you." Tim was completely shocked. He couldn't believe it because the show was actually doing really good. And Ernie said, "Well, wait a second, he's my co-host." And they go, "Well, you don't have your show anymore either. But if you want to, you can come on Friday nights and host a B-grade horror film show for us." Now, Ernie agreed as long as Tim was allowed to come on the show too and be like a guest host from time to time. And they accepted that, so he created the character Ghoulardi, who actually hosted the show. And then Tim would appear on there too sometimes. Now, right before all this shakeup at the station was happening, actress Rosemarie from the Dick Van Dyke Show had came through as part of a promotional tour through all the affiliate stations, and she was promoting the show, and she had seen the two of them, Ernie and Tim, working together, and she thought they were great. She told Tim that if he ever came to New York to contact her agent, they might be able to get him some work. Well, while feeling like everything was still on a downswing at the station, he went ahead and moved to New York City. When he got there, he contacted Rosemarie's assistant, and they got him an audition on the Steve Allen Show, which he landed a spot as a regular player.
I haven't seen Tom.
Where are you, Steve?
Tom,
Here he comes now.
Here comes Tom Conway. I'll be a son of a gun.
Place, boy, what a place. The decorations.
Isn't it beautiful?
About $1.50 tied up and stuff.
At least.
Hey, the pool.
Sure.
Hey.
You go swim a little later, huh?
You don't mind if I go in, do you?
Well, we're going to have suits for everybody in just a few minutes. And I think if you enjoy... Wait, you don't have your suit on! You don't
And there he is, acting like the class clown, even as an adult at a Hollywood party. Now, that same year of 1962, he tried out for a role on the new television show called McHales Navy, and he landed the part of Ensign Charles Beaumont Parker. He's second in command to McHale. Now, I've noticed that they called him Mr. Parker a few times in the episodes I just recently rewatched. And I looked that up and it says that U.S. Navy officers ranking from warrant officer to lieutenant commander who are not in command are often referred to as Mr. Now, my father, who was in the Navy in World War II, he loved this show, and so I'm sure that was something that he picked up on real easily. But to me, it just kind of stood out. But now I know. Now, if you watched the series for a little while, you can see the progression of the characters, and Tim's character really does start to stand out, and he brings in a lot of the comedy. He's good. The whole cast is good. They just got better over time. The series lasted for 4 seasons, 138 episodes, and Tim appeared in every one. After its cancellation, Tim went on to appear in the Rango TV series in 1967 for 17 episodes. After that ended, he appeared on various television shows, but in 1970 he got his own TV series called The Tim Conway Show, and he did 12 episodes. The same year, he also got to do 12 episodes of the Tim Conway Comedy Hour. It seemed that people were really starting to know who he was and how funny he really is. Now, in 1972, he appeared in a television movie called Love Is, starring Barbara Eden from I Dream of Jeannie. And from there, he appeared in a few more television movies. 1975, The Apple Dumpling Gang. That movie had a lot of good actors in it. Bill Bixby, Suzanne Clark, Don Knotts, and Tim Conway in the same movie. Yeah, it's going to be good. That same year, 1975, he appeared on the Carol Burnett Show, and oh man, what a show this was. The cast and crew were just fabulous. They won so many awards it would take a whole hour to list them all. Now, Tim appeared in 68 episodes, and some of these he ad-libbed his parts, and they became part of television history. Legendary. Now, I'm serious here. This show is full of great skits. Go to YouTube, type in Tim Conway Elephant or Tim Conway the Dentist. You are going to crack up. The Dentist is like one of the best of all time. Oh man, was he great on that show, I swear. You know, he was nominated 9 or 10 times for Emmys. He won a Golden Globe, and he won the Emmy 4 or 5 times just from this show. And the one time that he didn't win it, it went to Harvey Korman, who was in a lot of those skits you just seen right there. And so when they called Harvey's name, Tim got up too and followed him like his shadow, and he didn't even know it. He was standing behind him the whole time. It was a big joke. Bob Newhart kept talking about that for years, said it was one of the best Emmy moments ever. Now, I got to mention this. His buddy Ernie Anderson, who was back in Cleveland doing the Ghoulardi TV show, actually turned that into a whole big thing. It blew up, and it was a big deal, and they were having annual festivals based around it and conventions, and Tim would go back and appear at those too with him. Well, Ernie was also doing announcing work, and that took off so big that he actually left Ghoulardi behind for someone else to take over, and he became the voice of ABC. And when he signed the contract, he eventually went on to be the announcer for The Love Boat and America's Funniest Home Videos. But before all of that, guess where he ended up? The announcer for the Carol Burnett Show while Tim was on there too. I love hearing stuff like that where two people work good together and then they help each other's careers and they keep crossing paths and become friends and stay that way forever. Now, after the Carol Burnett Show, he appeared in a million more things, so I'm just going to give you a few of the ones that jump out at me. In 1983, he created a new series called Ace Crawford, Private Eye. Yeah, could this be where Jim Carrey got the inspiration for Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? I'm not hating, I'm just saying. And do you think I'm not going to mention the fact that he was in Cannonball Run too? I always mention the Cannonball Run movies when I see people in them that I know, and there was a lot of people in them. He also played Ephraim Wanker on Married with Children for multiple episodes. I know you've seen those. Tim also did a ton of voiceover work, mainly for kids' shows and movies. Did you know that he was the voice of Barnacle Boy on SpongeBob for all those years, even in the video games? With everything that he's accomplished, it's no wonder that he was a first ballot inductee into the Television Hall of Fame with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Sadly, he did get sick in 2018, and he passed away on May 14th, 2019 at the age of 85. He was married twice and he had 6 children. In fact, one of them, Tim Conway Jr., is actually in radio and broadcasting. So if you hear or see him out there, give him a like, support him too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't be scared to subscribe. Maybe check out a few more. I'll be back with more cool classics.